Okay, hello. Today on this vlog, we're going to discuss how we test a function to see if it's really a function or not. All right, so our first example here, we see 1, 2, and 3 examples we have. Now, are they all functions or aren't they functions? We have to decide, and how do we even do that? In previous vlogs, we talked about functions and that they have to satisfy this condition. Okay, that's clear. Now, if we have one for x, we can't have two different answers for y. So if that happens, it's not a function. So the first example is x equals 3. If x equals 3, always, what does the graph even look like? Now, when x equals 3, the rough sketch I have here, this is what it looks like. If x equals 3, it means the pairs always have 3 in the x position, but the y value is always different. So, this line, all the points are on this line. X always equals 3, and y has many different answers. So this is not a function. Y equals x squared. Now this graph, if you're aware of it, is this shape. It's a parabola. Meaning, like, if x equals 2, y equals 4. Or, if x equals negative 2 and that's squared, that y equals 4 again. We can have two different x's going to the same y. That's still a function. So this is a function. And now our third example, our last one. X equals y squared. Remember, x is our input, our domain, and y is the output, the answer. If you say x equals 4, now what number squared equals 4? Now, if you know how squared numbers works, you know a square can be 2 squared. Okay. And also, as I explained recently, -2, the whole quantity squared, equals 4 as well. Okay. And so this means the function or the equation x equals y squared shows us that 4 equals y equals 2 or y equals -2. It can't be predictable. We don't know what's going to happen. So it's not a function. It's a relation, but not a function. Now we have another test, our next set of examples. Here. This is the vertical line test. What does that even mean? As we look at our graph, I'm going to make a straight line here to show you what happens. Now, this is how the test works. It's really simpler because it's based on a picture. It's a red line and the vertical line test. So now the red line, I'll move it across the graph and observe how many times the graph touches the red line. If it's only once, it is a function. It passes the test. You see the line only touches the graph of the linear function only once. There's no double hitting. So it's fine. That means for every x input, we have a predictable y output. Now, this means if we put in one x value, you get 2 different y values as an output. That means this fails. It's not a function. If the red line or the line only hits the graph once, it passes. If it hits more than once, 2, 3, 4 different times for the same straight line, it's not a function. And now we'll continue with our using these vertical line test. For each graph, we'll see if it passes our vertical line test. Now I can look at number 3 and see that the red line is going to hit multiple times on the graph we have there for number 3. Really, it's infinitely many times. And this fails. It does not pass a vertical line test. It is not a function. I need to make the line bigger for this graph. And so this is obviously a fail. Circles, the function that creates a circle is not a function, or the equation. Now number 5. And you can see there are no times where the line hits the graph twice. Now the last one, number 6. Now that is a function also. The line only hits the graph at one time at any given time in the graph. So it is a function. Okay, thank you for your attention and see you next vlog.